When I was a little kid, I was always really fascinated with aviation. I still am, as a matter of fact. I think it's one of my biggest hobbies, and I really look into it, and I follow the news. I pay attention to who's being awarded the, new contracts for, the new refueling plane that the military is going to use. It's something I love to keep up with. Is the constant advancement of aviation technology. But when I was a kid, it really boiled down to reading about aces during World War II and stuff like that. So it's no surprise that my favorite game, really, of my childhood that I remember was playing Crimson Skies. And I bought this, back, let me think, back in '09 or so, when I saw you could get it for like $7 on Amazon.com, because by then I'd lost my original CD. I still have the manual though, and the game guide that I bought. It was really that important to me that when I was when I was 12 years old. Yeah, when I was 12 years old, I spent my allowance on a gamer guide for Crimson Skies because I wanted to do everything possible in the game, even though I pretty much knew all the secrets to begin with. And Crimson Skies, it's such a great game. It's got such a great atmosphere. This is set in a United States that has fallen apart during the 1930s because of the stock market crash. So all of these states have now formed their own countries. Let's see, what's a good example? There's the state of there's Pacifica, which is Washington and Oregon. The Hawaiian Islands are now their own, not just state, but country, which is kind of fitting because at the same time they still had a royal family back in the day. All of the South kind of merged into like the Dixie states, and it's kind of something that, it wouldn't be that hard to imagine happening again. I mean, you had a civil war and everything else, and it's an alternate universe. It's not that far-fetched. Especially when it comes to the aviation. If you know anything about pre-World War II aviation, you'll know that a lot of this stuff in this game is firmly grounded in reality. A good example is the the Zeppelins, because the secessional wars between all of the states, now countries, destroyed the infrastructure. So there's no railway system, there's no road system. It's all become air-based. So all commerce is air-based. And that's not just, cargo planes, it's Zeppelins. So now Zeppelins are sort of like, the shipping lines, the shipping containers. So all of this interstate commerce is done through Zeppelins, and they are like flying aircraft carriers to protect themselves from air pirates, which is what you are. You're an air pirate. You're a pirate who flies an airplane. What more could a 12-year-old kid ask for? That's just like the be-all and end-all. And I still want to see this movie turned into a film adaptation. I think it would, draw a huge market. You have the pirate crowd. I mean, there's obvious interest. They're making a 4th Pirates of the Caribbean movie, for God's sakes. How could you not make a movie about air pirates? That combines so many people's favorite things. And on top of that, the game was really well grounded in its story. It spent a lot of time and effort getting you invested in the main character that you were playing, Nathan Zachary. In the game manual, I remember there was this whole life story and bio. It really set you up for it. If I can find my manual, I'm sure I still have it. I'll read some excerpts and show you some stuff out of that. But I cannot say enough good things about this game. It is a great game. So, without any further ado, let's dive right into Crimson Skies.
From the nation of Hollywood to the Empire State, news film from around the world on your neighborhood screen today, delivered via high-speed airmail. This is Aerotone News. Airborne shipping, the new king of commerce. Across all 23 American nations, old-fashioned trains, ships, and trucks are no match for the modern Zeppelin. Shipments have never been faster. Mountains, forests, and rivers, no problem for these luxury liners of the sky. But with modern air shipping comes modern air pirates, the scourge of the skies. Not since the days of wooden ships and iron men have pirates so cursed the world. hunting the skies between the Americas for loot and cargo, and even the occasional kidnapping. But such villainy is answered in force. Government militias and private security companies have responded, raising their own air forces to fight the criminals, to beat the devils at their own game. Score one for the good guys. The Parade of Aces. The hair-raising adventures of these heroes have captured the imagination of the world. New York ladies' man, loyal showstopper Crawford. Aviation security pioneer Paladin Blake. Hollywood blonde shell Charlie Steele. Ex-pirate turned pirate hunter Easter Whittaker. The Parade of Infamy, the villains of the air. Double-crossing ex-Texas Air Ranger, the murderous Marshal Bill Redmond. From Wall Street Raider to Zeppelin Bandit, the vicious Jonathan Genghis Khan. The pirate with a secret purpose, the brilliant and mysterious Black Swan. Don't let her beauty fool you, boys. This one's too hot to handle. And the Undertaker of the Sky out of Skyhaven, cold-blooded newcomer Ulysses Booth. But the pirate's short life of fame, daring, and fortune always ends the same, in a twisted metal coffin. The battle rages on, but justice will prevail. The criminals of the air...
What gives, boss? You, the world-famous Nathan Zachary, didn't even make it into this month's Parade of Infamy!
Trust me, Jacko. With what I've got planned, we will.
Come on, you gotta admit, as far as games go, that intro is gonna be a tough one to top, especially if you're 12 years old and a huge fan of pirates. Like I said, I can't say enough about this game. The soundtrack, as you can guys hear, is just awesome. It sounds like something that belongs out of a swashbuckler movie. It's just incredible. When I was a kid, this was it. I mean, every kid on my street played this game, and we would compare scores, accuracy ratios. I mean, there were two games you could play. You could play Crimson Skies, or you could play MechWarrior 4 Vengeance. There was no middle ground. You were not cool unless you did one of those. I apologize for the pixelation. I don't know what's going on with my game. I'm amazed that it runs. That's how awesome this game is. It was meant to run on Windows 95, and this thing is running on my brand new Windows 7. I didn't even have to adapt anything. It just said, okay, you want to play? We'll go.
Boss, this is Sparks. You still alive in there?
Yeah.
Geez, Skipper, you're missing the whole works. The party, the cookout, the women. When are you gonna join us?
I'll be down when I can, kid.
See, I told you. He's not budging.
Give me that thing. Chief, it's Tex. Not only are you missing Big John's choice eats, but Justine here says she ain't done with you yet.
Nathan, where are you? We miss you. I miss you.
Chief, you plain work too hard. Why, you only spent one night with the ladies.
And what a night it was.
See, blowing off steam's good for a fella. What I'm getting at, sir, is that it's been a tough month. We all know how sore you are about that rat Miles double-crossing us in Cuba, but he's sleeping with the fishes now, and you'll figure out some plan to make us all rich again. You always do.
Tex, let's not ever talk about Lucas Miles again. Understood? Now I've got work to do.
He's hopeless. Here, you try.
Jack here. What are you reading now, Zachary? British politics, shipping reports?
The Secret Journeys, a Hawaiian oral history of Sir Francis Drake, 1578 to 1580. Got it yesterday.
You see, that's sad. That you need to get out more.
Fascinating. Everyone thinks Captain Cook discovered the Hawaiian Islands in 1778, but in 1579, the English privateer Sir Francis Drake was here. He lost his largest ship, the Teresa, in a storm near here, off the Kapa'awi Islands. All hands presumed lost.
Oh, wow, no kidding. 1579, cheese and crackers. You know, I'll be sure to tell the crew.
Jacko,
Yeah.
we're not here for fun. We're here for treasure. Remember that leather map we pinched in Tortuga?
2 years ago. Yeah, sure. How could I forget?
I finally figured out what it is. It's the map of the Teresa's last route. Jack, she was full of stolen Spanish gold. And I think I found her.
Why, you old devil.
Some more talk about, you know, getting people involved in the story. Just look at the hangar bay. You can see out onto, you know, where your plane's hanging, and that changes depending on what you flew in the previous mission. And you have this, and it's all of like Nathan's previous conquests. And I remember seeing it out when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, I don't want my parents to see this. And so I would always switch it over to the dog. I'll go with this one for now, I guess.
Morning, everyone.
Morning, sir.
Say, those Medusas must throw some kind of party.
The canned coffee can't help, sir.
Yeah. Now, here's the whole works. Jack's filled you in on the real reason we're in Hawaii. Drake's gold. Okay. Now, I've managed to narrow the list of potential sites down to 3. The first site is in this cliff here, on the Hawaiian Islands.
Hey, how does shipwreck get way up there?
We're looking for the treasure, Jack, not the ship.
Oh, yeah, the treasure.
The survivors may have rescued the gold from the wreck and hid it up on this cliff. Or I figure they may have buried it in this valley here at the second site. Or maybe the wreckage washed ashore into the same valley during a storm. Now the third and last site's out here somewhere, probably in this reef. I'll need only one wingman for today's mission.
Yeah, sure, make me do all the work.
Actually, Jack, I was thinking of taking Betty.
What?
Yes, sir.
You'll get over it, Jack. We gotta give the new pilots as much flying time as we can afford. It's pretty quiet out there today, so I'm gonna give Betty here some tips on how to fly like a fortune hunter. Besides, Jack, I want you to ride with me in my plane. We'll check out each site from the air, get the lay of the land. If we find anything, I'll circle back around so you can bail out and verify the location from the ground.
Yeah, well, don't come crying to me when she shoots your tail off or something, okay?
Oh, you mean like that story Big John was telling me about you over Virginia, Jack? You know, the one where you shot up your own plane?
Hey,
Remember
that wasn't my fault.
Oh, sure.
What do you know? New kid's got moxie. You're all right.
Betty, I'll meet you outside, airborne in 15. The rest of you, no more parties till we get this gold job sewn up.
Yes, sir. What you say?
Yeah. See what I mean about getting you involved with the backstory? Here's the loadout screen. You'd ordinarily change whatever plane you were flying and what you were armed with, but since this is the first level in the game, they don't let you do a whole lot. So you can basically just switch between 1 or 2 Devastators, and I don't even think you can change the ammo loads. I think you're stuck with high explosive and slug ammunition for your guns. I remember not really noticing the graphics. I was so busy playing the game when I was a kid. I know there's nothing to see much now, but it still kind of holds up pretty well. I mean, especially since you don't have to dumb the game down any or your computer in order to do it. And the other thing, this is all kind of grounded in reality, people. I mean, there were flying aircraft carriers. The U.S. Navy had 2. They were Zeppelins that were adapted to launch, you know, little protective aircraft flights. And so it's not that far-fetched.
Good luck out there, you two. Go make us millionaires.
Yeah, and Betty, try not to kill the boss, okay? He's the only friend I got, you know.
Oh, sorry to hear that, Jack. I'll do my best.
Follow me, Betty. Try to get a feel for your plane and keep your eyes peeled.
Yes, sir.
One of the many cool things about this game was that it would reward you for doing little stunts. There's one coming up here, and I decided to hot shot it and go inverted. But, you know, these all over the map, and you'd get photographs for it.
There's one of the sites over there. See it? Stone carvings could give a guy the creeps.
Fly close to it, boys, and see if you can see anything. There might be something else good down there.
Those carvings are the beginning of a cave. Say, there's an old altar down there. I bet it has a few secrets. Golden secrets.
Attention, unidentified aircraft. This area is under British authority.
British? That's funny. I thought this was Hawaii. manners. Let's take him out, Betty. I don't like flame troopers.
Yes, sir.
I remember you have to blow up the fuel tanker, and I couldn't believe how many rounds I pumped into it. I guess they were locking onto the trucks. That should have been enough to do the job. At the bottom right of the screen there, you see where there's a second stunt opportunity, but I would always crash doing it, and I wasn't about to waste this time doing a Let's Play.
Kiss that bridge goodbye.
Tough break. But no one's getting between that treasure and us. See that? Looks like some sort of camp. I'll bet it belonged to a survivor of the wreck.
Worth checking out, boss?
Definitely.
Up here, there's another stunt opportunity. I don't know if it's for this mission or not, but you can blast a hole in the wall and then fly through it. I don't know if it'll take a picture or not. And I won't do it right away because there's a fight coming up and I don't want to get banged up and too unhealthy for it. So I'll knock it out and then just come back for it later.
Boss, do you see it?
Atta girl. That's it, all right. Now that's the main treasure site, I'm sure of it. Jack, I'm going to fly over the side again. Get ready to bail out for a closer look. Jack is away. Let us know what you find down there, buddy.
Pandora, this is Jack. Moving to Site 3. Looks like we hit the jackpot.
Copy that. Pandora on the way. No need to follow that order, Sparks. Now that you found our treasure, Nathan, you and your floozy can scram. If you know what's good for you.
Your treasure? Nice try, sister. But this claim is mine. Pirate's Code, fair and square. You tell Justine that spending a night with me does not mean she gets to spend my loot.
Yeah? Well, maybe a little swim will change your mind.
Medusa's coming in, sir.
The Medusas have a cargo zeppelin coming in, British markings on it, probably stolen, judging by the state of it. Looks like they're making a play for the treasure right now. We have to stop that zeppelin.
Are those spare fuel tanks stacked in the cargo bays? They have "shoot me" written all over them.
Good eye. Hit those tanks. That should put a kink in their plans.
How do you say? You run, but you cannot hide.
On your right, Banditberry, 3 o'clock high. Behind you, Bandit, 6 o'clock low.
You wet punk.
Woohoo! Did you see that explosion? Great shot, boss. That scepter's going down.
Say, Betty, you're a regular wildcat. Not a half-bad pilot either.
I just don't like no one calling me floozy, that's all.
You women will be the end of me. You see any more Medusas?
No, why? You looking for a date?
Ha! I draw the line at dames who shoot at me.
That's not what I heard.
Touche. So, how you feeling after your first proper fight? You want to head back to the Pandora and call it a day, or scout around some?
I'm good, boss. Whatever you want, I'll follow you.
Okay, now that we're done fighting the Medusas, I'm going to line up a nice approach for that stunt run and see if I can nail it. Again, I'm not sure if it's this level or another one that you get your picture taken. But you'll see what I mean about pictures in the after action. no picture. I guess it's another one.
Welcome home, Skipper. So, are we rich yet?
Looks good, kid, but we shall see.
This was more or less how some of those planes would try to dock with the aircraft carriers too, or the flying ones, that is. They'd have a little hook coming down out of the aircraft carrier, and the pilot would have to catch it with an apparatus on his aircraft. So again, you know, they did their homework. When I talk about atmosphere and setting in a game, this is what I mean. After every mission you fly, they give you this little scrapbook that you've put together. And it records your flight data, how long the mission took, what your hit percentage was. A little scrapbook that contains Global Travelers Quarterly, a Spanish doubloon, the article about you shooting the Brits on the bridge. And it has your kill markers, so the total number of planes you shoot down that mission. So I got 3 Kestrels, and it would ordinarily say 3, but something with my computer's messing it up. Like a journal about the statue you flew through. What else? Yeah, the pirate journal. It's pretty amusing, some of them. There's a lot of dry humor in there. And then on the other page, you got a little thing from, what's her name? Justine Battleaxe Perot. And the piece of Sir Francis Drake's journal. Some guy from Hollywood that you sold the rights to. And here's the picture, and woohoo, inverted! And you can even export it to your desktop. So like guys in the neighborhood would always be exporting it onto their computer. So you'd come in, you'd see some new awesome stunt they'd pulled. Anyway, that is mission number 1 for Crimson Skies. So tune in again next week when we tackle mission number 2. We have to deal with some plucky Brits who come in trying to steal our show. So until then, it's Redneck Ronin signing out.